In today's video, man, we're going to be counting all of my WWE figure belts. Yeah. Alright, man, in today's video, you heard it here. We have not done this video in so very long. I know we did one about 7 or 6 years ago, and then I think a year later we remade this video, but we have not done this video in years. It has been a very long time. It's actually kind of nostalgic doing this and dumping the belts out because we haven't done this in so very long, but today we're going to be going through every single belt here. I also have some on display that I'll probably get down and add into the count and just sort everything, but today what I have to do now is legitimately sort through every single belt and put them all in piles. That way I can count up each individual championship and then tell you the total amount at the very end and tally it all up. We'll go pile by pile. I'll tell you probably why I have so many of some and different things like that. And we'll go through each championship and kind of break it all down for you there, man. But help me, Lord, as we sort through all these belts, get everything in individual piles, and just sort them out, man. But you can see here, this is years of collecting all added up here, as you can tell. I mean, there are so many different championships we've gotten from Mattel. And I'm trying to think, I want to say, I don't think I have one of every belt we've gotten from Mattel. I want to say I've had them in the past, but I have sold them or, I've traded them. There's different things like that. But today, man, we're going to dive in here. We're going to see how many. Right now, down in the comment section below, give me your guess on the total number of championship belts for my action figures that I have in my collection. I'd love to know what your guess is down below. Maybe the closest one, give away a figure. Leave you a comment down below, and maybe I'll pick the winner. And I'll know if it's edited, man. I'll know if it's edited, and I'll know if you see this post. Give a guess. Give a guess, and then maybe edit it later on if you were correct or not, or whatever the case is. But nonetheless, man, let's sort these belts and get into the count. All right, man, here we are. It has taken me at least an hour to sort out all the belts, as you can see, scattered across my floor. Now, we have a lot of custom championships as well, but there are plenty that are in piles right here, and we're going to go through each one. We're going to talk about the total number, and there are some on display, which, again, we'll get into at the end. I won't go into the specifics, I don't think, but I'll tell you how many total ones are around the room. That way you will know the total number of everything, man. But let's just dive into it. We're going to tally them up, and we're going to discuss some of these different piles and why I have so many and just give you the correct number and everything like that, man. So with that being said, let's dive into these piles. So starting off in the quarter, man, the Blue Universal Championships over here, you can tell that there are a lot. There are apparently 19 total of these Blue Universal Championships. You also notice that we have all the dull versions right here. They used to put these with basics. So you guys remember that? They kind of still do that, but they have added more details. We still get some, but we used to get pure dull championships like that. Got a couple of hardcore championships over there, four exact of the ECW Tag Team Championships. Bunch of different versions of the NWO Big Gold right here. And for the Big Gold itself, which we'll get into in a moment, dude, so many big golds over here. One of my least favorite belts of all time is the penny belts. So this is the Spartan Penny Championships, and all three of these are actually different colors. And I never have had, I think I've had a matching pair once ever. Wasn't it like Elite 36 Stardust that came with both versions, or, a pair of those? I remember that helping out the sales of that figure there. We have a bunch of different iterations of the NXT Championship right here. So you have like the modern version, the men's version, the female version. I just kind of looped them all together because they're basically the exact same design. Got the classic NXT Championships right here. Got 3 of those. We do have quite a bit of difference between the Red Universal Championship. This one came with the Ultimate Edition Brock, like the first version, I think. And I think I have 10 of these, 10 of the Red Universals. I want to say I have more than that, but there could be a few on display, things like that. So there is that. We have the Up, Up, Down, Down Championships, which may be one of the most unique championships we've ever seen from Mattel. That is the Xavier Woods. And if you see these little things on the carpet, man, it's from Shave. So this is from action figure surgery and opening up figures. I really need to vacuum in here. But here is the big old pile of Big Gold Championships. Now, this is not the new mold. This is the old sculpt. And I do have a couple of the newer sculpt, which is more impressive in my opinion. I like this version better. And I wish I had this many of this exact championship over here, but I have approximately 22 to 25 of these, and the reason I say that is because there are some on display with the Cenas and stuff, which is a majority of where my championships, if they're on display, they are in the Cena section, but it's still crazy to have this many. I tell this story all the time, but a while back, there was a Chinese website where they had these for, I think, I don't know, man, maybe $1 or something, maybe like 50 cents or something. And I cashed in the Money in the Bank briefcase, man. I bought like 25 of them. Since then, I've sold some, collected more, etc. But at one point, I want to say I had like 40 of these. It was absolutely ridiculous. But now we're down to about 25-ish, which is still a lot, but it's kind of insane where we've went from there. And as we progress through, we do have some of the block Intercontinental Championships. We have 10 of these. We have, one World ECW Championship, or one World Television ECW Championship there. We have one of the modern tags right there. I do have customs of these, and we'll get into the custom belts as well. Tons of custom championships, of course. We have 2 of the WWE Championship from Daniel Bryan with that kind of, I love this gimmick, by the way. That was a great run there by Daniel Bryan. We do have one of the Super 7 Internet Championships here from Matt Cardona, which is kind of cool. That's from obviously a different figure line, but I still count it. You got AEW, you got Mattel, Jazzwares, things like that. Got 4 of the regular Cruiserweight or the Ruthless Aggression Cruiserweight Championships. Tons of AEW tag here, man. I don't know how many I have. I didn't even count these, but I want to say it's around 20 or so. It may be a little more than that, but they add up quick, man. It's kind of crazy. You're getting all these figures, all these waves. We're reviewing figures, and they just pile up over time. You have 4 of the Modern Women's Tag Team Championships right there, which is pretty cool. I wish I had more of these. This is the Ruthless Aggression World Tag Titles for Raw. Love this championship's design, and then we do have the SmackDown. And we do have more of the SmackDown than the Raw, and I think it's because of the, what was it? There was a Kane figure, I think, that came with the SmackDown. Or maybe I'm tripping. Maybe it was I think it was the Survivor Series John Morrison or something like that came with that. We also have the WWF Championship, one of my favorite championships of all time. And I think there is, 15 of these? Let me see. Let's see. Yeah, something like, 15 of these championships right here, man, which is ridiculous. And then we get into the Winged Eagle. You can see we have a bunch of different iterations here. 21 of these, but then I did specify. So you have 2 white, 2 purple, 1 blue, and then we do have that Ghostbusters Undertaker version right there, which is kind of cool. Kind of looks like the, the Greatest Royal Rumble Championship or something like that. Seems kind of, similar to that. This is a championship I didn't think that I had as many as I do here. I think I have 6 or 7 of these. Did not think that was the case, man. A lot of them do have custom side plates and stuff, but kind of crazy that I have that many. I did not think I had that many of the Modern U.S. Championship right there. Do have a few of the Undisputed / WWE Championship. We have 10 of the Oval IC title, 1 of that ringside exclusive Rock right there. Got a few Cruiserweight Championships over here. Man, it's crazy how you can see what belts are more common, obviously. These are like from Wrestling Superstore or something. These trashy, just awful belts kind of based off Jax. We do have a lot of the Raw tag title, and then we do have a lot of the SmackDown tag title, but the Raw seems to have more for whatever reason. I think that's from all those top picks, I guess Seth Rollins that we bought back in the day in the all-black gear. So apparently we have 20 of the Raw tag and then 12 of the SmackDown tag. And then with the World tag back here, one of my favorite tag team championships ever, there is 16 of those with 2 of the silver. And then we do have 20 WWE championships right here. All kinds of different versions. Bobby Lashley, Big E, Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, all kinds of different iterations right there. And then we do have, I think, 15 of the United States Championship right here. Used to have way more of those as well. They were pretty common for, different figures and stuff. But as we come over here, man, we have a bunch of, kind of lower level or not as many, like the Andre the Giant. You have the Naomi SmackDown Glow Championship, the WCW United States Championship that came with Goldberg. You have just a bunch of one-offs because, we probably didn't get that many. The one that came with the Alundra Blaze. We have, the 10 pounds of gold here. We got that brand new, Rock Championship from the Ultimate Edition. You got the Owen Hart Cup Championship. What's crazy is we only have 1 of the Undisputed Championship, maybe 2 somewhere else, but I have a lot more of a custom belt of this than actually from Mattel, which is kind of crazy to think about. But as we come through here, man, we do have 4 different versions here of the Women's Championship, which is kind of crazy. I like all the different golds, though. I don't know. I kind of want them to be consistent, unless they just can't be for whatever reason. We'd have 4 of the 24/7 Championship. Got quite a few of the White Intercontinental Championship. I did not know that I had 3 of the Yellow Strap Intercontinental Championship, but here I am. We have 2 of the WCW Cruiserweight Championships. This is a custom Brahma Bull Championship from a guy that scammed a lot of people out of some belts, man. And he made some cool ones. Like my current Extreme Championship is similar to this with like actual metal plates. And he made a really badass Finn Balor one over here with a really unique strap. But I think he scammed a lot of people, man. I don't mess with that. It kind of pissed me off back in the day. But he also made the Extreme Championship. And these are all the current Fed Championships and the current WWE Championships. So you can get an overview there. You have the MDT Championship there. We have the World Tag Titles, Undisputed. You got, the Modern Tag Titles, and then the current Fed ones. So all of these ones you're seeing right here are all on my displays. And so I just took them down to, get them into the fold and count them up. And we come down here, again, we'll get into the custom championships in a second, but we do have quite a bit of the SmackDown Women's Championship. And stay tuned to the end. I'll tell you the total number and the count of all of these. We do have a WWF Championship that came in that Legends of the Territory pack. Got a few UFC Championship belts over here. Some UK Championships, one with Brock Lesnar side plates because I did kind of like a side plate swap on one of them. And then over here, these are all of my titles that were in my John Cena drawer. So a majority of them are the Spinner Championship. I think we have like 26 of those or something like that if you count the ones on display and the ones down here. There may be a few more on display that I didn't count, but so what I do is I keep a bunch of championships in a bag that I could use for my Cena display. And so I save those up for, whenever we get that completely done there. So we do have quite a bit of the Spinner Championships. One of my favorite championships of all time, man. I love the Spinner. I know a lot of people hate on it, but I do love it. And then we do have quite a bit of the Money in the Banks right here, man. So many damn Money in the Banks, different iterations. Got the old blue classics. Used to hate when they give us the gigantic ones. Even though there's something nostalgic about these, I really do prefer the more accurate, smaller versions here. But you have the Money in the Pail right there. Got the Damien Sandow version right there. We got gold versions. Black cases from Jax. You got the silver briefcases, black briefcases. Tons of Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal trophies in there. Do have the Senior Money in the Bank. Like, why did they go back to the large size, man? This was completely dumb. Why did they do that? I don't understand why they did that. This should have been a shrunken down version, but we even have the TJP Cruiserweight medal in there. So, yeah, lots of unique things. And then we do have that Mae Young Classic trophy. So before we get into the total count of the championships, I want to take you through some of these customs here. Now, these were made by Dan Turnquist. This is actually to this video's exclusive. So if you're watching this video, you and some of the Patreon members are the only ones that have seen this. But this is the MDT Diet Mountain Dew Championship. Look at the craftsmanship here. Look at the strap. It's like custom, Mountain Dew pattern. You have My Damn Toys on the side plates in the Mountain Dew font. Diet Mountain Dew on there. Champion. Got the MDT logos and on the strap. One of my favorite championships in my collection, if not my top one. It's definitely in the top 3. I love the regular MDT championship, but this one right here is an exclusive to this video. So if you watch this video, you know about that championship, and then there's only a handful of people that knew about that. So you are a special one. But we do have the Cody Rhodes Undisputed Championship, Roman Reigns. We got Seth Rollins WWE title. And all of Dan's belts are so damn good, man. You have a Damian Priest World title, got a Winged Eagle, got the Women's IC, and we do have a Women's United States as well, but it's on display. Got a crap ton of AEW championships, and then we just have a bunch of different customs that I've either ordered or made or different things like that. Got a few trios titles and just some plate swaps and different things like that. But now that we have kind of ran through here and kind of checked off some notables and checked out everything, man, I want to take you through the total number of the championships and tell you everything. But I think the championship that I have the most of, crazy enough, I used to think it was the big gold. I think it's the WWE Spinner, which actually makes me happy. That's kind of crazy. I have the most of the WWE Spinner. I feel like that's kind of ridiculous. And I am going to count the solid gold ones that I have on display. The ones from the statues, they absolutely count. Those definitely count. So I'm going to add up the ones on display, add up the ones on the floor, and I'm going to give you the number in just a second. All right, man, I have added it up. I counted all the ones on display, all the ones around my room, the gold ones, the ones in the office, just different ones that I have, man. And if my math serves me correctly here, before I've unboxed all these, I have not unboxed all of these just yet at the time of recording this video. I don't know how many championships are in here, like just off rip looking at this, I have no idea. But if we count all of these that we just went through, including, the Fed championships and everything, man, the total number is 584 WWE Action Figure Championships, man. Unbelievable. I don't remember what the last 2 times were. Maybe you can go find those videos and see what the count was. But that's absurd. That is an absurd amount of championship belts. But I wanted to find out, and today I shared it with you, man. So you can let me know what you think down in the comment section below. What's a championship that you found that you have a lot of in your collection? all those different things. I wish there was an instance. The reason that I don't have a lot of them on display, and I guess I could make like a giant championship wall out of this, but the reason I don't have them on display is because there's not a lot of room on my display. This is something I talk about all the time with my display, is if you were to put a championship on different figures, it bumps them over and it can remove 1 or 2 figures. And if you add that up, right, if you put a championship on one figure, then it will take away space from another figure. Then if you put another championship on another one, it takes away another one. So it limits the space on the shelf, and I have to pick and choose where I put my championships when I put them on display. But anyways, man, that is going to wrap it up for this video. If I miscounted, I'm crazy. I apologize. Again, it's like 1 a.m. right now, so... But I don't think I messed up. I'm pretty sure I nailed the count. But you can let me know, man, what you think down in the comment section below. But I'm getting the hell out of here, man. A huge shout out to the Patreon members, man. Thank you so much for your support as always, man. You guys are truly incredible, and I appreciate you every single day. But I'm getting the hell out, man. I'll see you guys next time. Have a blessed one, and I'll catch you guys later.
And you can't tell me about my life and all my highs and lows. Want me to change, but I can't change. It's the way I roll. I kept it smooth and broke some rules, but this the life I chose. They say they love you till they hurt you. You know how I go. I'm getting sick and tired to close my eyes, and then the sun come up, and it's all just the same. Same old, every single day. Like, what am I supposed to do when there's no cloud, but it's still rain? Like, how am I supposed to stay in line? Motherfuckers all in my lane.